Well, it's always good to say welcome back to the returning current champion of the British Touring Car Championship, Jake Hill. You had another little smile to yourself then when I said that. Are you not used to it yet?
It's always quite nice when someone reminds you of that nice little fact. But yes, we're back. We're back for 2025 as the reigning British Touring Car Champion, which feels pretty special.
How many times have you watched the video back from Brands Hatch last year?
I watched it a couple of times quite shortly after, because I think it really didn't sink in for a while, actually. I would say until, I can't remember when the TOCA Awards were, about 6 weeks up after the event. It didn't really sink in until then a bit more when I actually picked the trophy up for the first time, away from the circuit, once it had all calmed down a bit. But what an amazing feeling, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. I've had some amazing opportunities and done some really cool stuff on the lead up to this campaign, and looking forward to getting going and getting back in a touring car again.
Lots of things have changed, obviously, in the way that people now view you as a driver. You're in the record books. You've been invited to do lots of other things. Has it changed you?
I think I want to say no. I don't think it's changed me as a person as such, but I think it probably will change my approach slightly to this year, because I do feel like the pressure's off quite a lot. I've done what I set out to do, what I always wanted to achieve, which was to become British Touring Car Champion, and we finally achieved it. So, I don't feel that same pressure that I have, especially the last sort of 3 years since I've been with West Surrey, because that's been my real chance of being able to get a championship. And ever since that first year in 22 in the rocket car, where we had a real chance, and I blew it that year really. With the car was good enough, and I was quick enough, but I didn't have the right mental approach to get the job done, and made too many mistakes. And obviously last year I rectified that, and we got it over the line. But I do feel like now you understand how to do it. You've been there, you've done it, you've had all the stressful situations and dealt with them in the correct way. And I think, it just makes you a more rounded driver. Yeah, maybe a more rounded person because of it. And hopefully that will help again for this year.
Knowing how to do it, which is what you've just alluded to, which is about racecraft and about your mental approach, and having done it, does that put you in a better place for this year?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I think... I'm pretty certain we're going to be in with a fight again come round 30. I'm sure we'll be right there. I'm sure it'll be the usual suspects. And, when you get onto race day, there is no feeling like it for round 30, when you're genuinely in with a chance. And now having gone through that whole process and come out the other side as a winner, it does help a lot to have, to know how to deal with that emotion and know how to get yourself across the line. So, I feel much happier going into this year, much calmer.
Excellent. Now, lighter cars this year, which is going to be interesting, isn't it? We've lost, depending on who you talk to, anywhere between 50 and 75 kilos.
Yeah.
I don't know, somebody had some different batteries, but so many people have given me different weights. Yeah. But the cars are lighter.
Yes.
They're on the toes a little bit more.
Yeah.
What's been your experience of that so far?
Yeah, it's... it's the first time I've driven a light BMW, right? Since I've been with West Surrey, it's been in the hybrid era, which is now obviously departed, and we're onto the eco fuels, which are great. And the engine mappers are really enjoying it, and I think us as drivers all approve of a lighter car, because that's what we want ultimately as racing drivers. We want a nice, light and nimble touring car. It's obviously, for me, I'm sort of learning the car again, because I've gone through this whole process of it being the same weight and us really getting nailed down the setup of how that car needs to be. The only difference is now obviously you're quite experienced, and you do know a rough direction of where you want to go to achieve that goal of getting the balance that you need. But make no mistake, I think up and down the grid the balance of all the cars would have shifted massively, and it will favour some and it won't favour others. And at the moment, to be totally honest with you, we're still finding our feet. We haven't nailed the setup on the head. I've not come away from my day's testing going, we're going to win it this year, not yet, but that's not to say it won't come. In 22 I felt very much similar, and I had pole at round 1, so whereas last year I felt more prepared and we were a bit rubbish for the first two, so it goes both ways. But For sure, the cars are a lot faster. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of lap records being broken. I think we're going to be seeing some extraordinarily fast times in qualifying compared to previous years. Definitely upwards of a second a lap faster. I think by the time you're using the boost deploy and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a quick car.
Much more opportunity to see the whole grid coming in qualifying in under a second as well.
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's going to tighten the field up, definitely. So, yeah, it's a welcome change, and I, for one, really looking forward to the challenge, looking forward to, racing some lighter touring cars again, and, yeah, getting on board with eco-fuels. And, we've been doing it with historic cars as well, and, now we're taking it on in professional motorsport. It's perfect.
You know that no championships ever won on the first weekend. So what are you going to be happy with when they close the shutters back here at Donington in 2 weeks' time?
I mean, ultimately, we always want to win.
Yeah.
Of course we do. But, a great weekend just looks like, a couple of podiums maybe. That would be the ultimate goal. And ultimately just a consistent run and working through a programme, making the car better each run, each race. That's going to be the key. But, it is going to be different and difficult. I do think we're going to see some people right up there that we haven't seen in the last couple of years, or really fighting for the win and for the championship. So I think we're in for a really close year. There's going to be definitely a couple others joining that party for the championship at the end.
Yeah, we know we'll be seeing your dad hopefully in the paddock. He's on ITV more than you half the time, isn't he?
I think he should be driving.
And how's the rest of the family? Will we be seeing more of those in the paddock?
Yes, very much so. Hannah and Jude, my partner and my little boy, he's grown up so fast. It was really lovely to have him at Goodwood with me at the weekend for the members meeting, and sitting in the cars there and stuff. So yeah, can't wait to have him back round with me for some touring car races as well. It definitely, some may say it's a distraction, but I actually find it helps. It takes your mind away from the busy day of a British touring car event. So welcome addition.
I'm sure you're going to have a good season, Jake. It must be nice coming back being the defending champion.
It is. It's the
got a target on your back now, though.
It's the best feeling in the world. I don't care. I really don't. I've got nothing to prove. I've done my bit, and I'm just here for the ride now. I'm going to enjoy it and see if we can get the double.
Good man. Have a good season. Just before you go, as you know, there's always the 2 or 3 questions that we like to throw in, just to give a little more of an insight into. So you've got numbers 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Choose your first number between 1 and 5.
Number 1.
Are you a good passenger in a road car?
No, not really.
I knew the answer to that before you told me, because your other half has told me you're terrible.
I hate driving with Hannah. She's actually not bad. I'll give her credit. She's not horrendous.
Because she doesn't go fast enough, or because she goes too fast?
She just goes fast in the wrong areas. That's the problem. Just like, there's no need for certain stuff. Why are you going that quickly? And then in other areas when I'm like, there's a beautiful, clear, open road, and, you don't have to be going flat out, but, at least do the speed limit, right? And, we're nowhere near. So it's a bit challenging at times.
It must be dreadful driving a British touring car champion around.
You will ask Hannah and she'll give you an honest answer.
I'm definitely going to ask her. Right, another number between 1 and 5.
Okay, let's go number 4.
Do you have a middle name?
I do. It is James.
Okay, thank you. And finally, one last number between 1 and 5.
2.
Right. There have been 12 drivers who have done back-to-back British Touring Car Championship wins in 67 years of the championship. Can you name 5 of them?
Ash Sutton.
Yes.
Colin Turkington.
Correct.
I want to say Gordon Shedden.
Is correct for 3. 2 more.
Hang on. I'm just having a little think. Paul Radisich.
No.
Oh.
Gonna have to push you.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I should know this. I'm normally quite good at my history. John Cleland.
No, I'm going to have to tell you. Matt Neal. Chris Hodgetts, Andy Rouse, Wyn Percy.
Oh, I meant to say Andy Rouse.
Giovanardi.
Okay, I'm really
3 out of
appalled
5.
by myself with that because I'm normally really good with my history side of things.
You're better at driving than you are at quizzes.
Yeah, Dad is the quiz
Oh,
quiz
right.
maker.
Maybe I shall ask him.
You
That'd be
should,
good.
yeah.
We'll do that. Have a great season.
Thank
Jake.
you.